98.9 Nash Icon. It's Adam Webster playing the music that made country great and today's best country. Today is World Diabetes Day. November is Diabetes Awareness Month. More than 39 million Americans have diabetes. One of them is joining me on the telephone right now, Danielle Blanchard, who was diagnosed with diabetes at 16 months old. Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. I'm so excited to talk to you.
So Danielle and I have known each other for a while because I have been a diabetes advocate and worked with the American Diabetes Association and the camps for kids with diabetes in Oxford and Charlton. And I work with the UMass Diabetes Center of Excellence in Worcester. There's a lot of misunderstanding. For example, Danielle, of the more than 39 million Americans with diabetes, 95% have type 2 diabetes and about 5%, like yourself, have type 1, which is an autoimmune disease. How would you describe the difference?
In type 2 diabetes, your body doesn't produce as much insulin as it needs, and so it can be controlled sometimes with diet and exercise, which is opposed to type 1 diabetes where you're going to need insulin injections to take care of that.
So type 1 is an autoimmune disease where your body is fighting against itself, not allowing you to produce the hormone insulin, which you need to live.
That's right. You really need insulin. It comes from the pancreas. Basically what it does is it breaks all of your food down into energy. So if you don't have insulin and you have diabetes, you're going to have the sugar remaining in your blood, and it can't turn into energy for your body.
So insulin can be given to someone like yourself through needles, right? 4 or 5 shots a day. But now there's automated systems called insulin pumps that have come a long way to make this a lot easier. But you also have to check your blood sugar either with finger pricks, or now there's something called continuous glucose monitors, which you wear on your arms. How do you control your type 1 diabetes?
I have been controlling it with a pump since I was 21 years old, and I have tried almost every pump on the market. So I also have a continuous glucose monitor. It's the Dexcom, and I love it so much. I used to have to prick my fingers multiple times a day. Now I look at my fingers, and they don't have any prick marks on them, and I look at my blood sugars, and they're much more in range.
Your CGM, your continuous glucose monitor, and your insulin pump talk to each other and work together. What do you need to do throughout the day to manage it in addition?
So I still need to wake up in the morning, look at my blood sugar, assess what I need to do in that situation, maybe input to take extra insulin if it's above my target, maybe eat something if it's below my target. Then I need to assess how much insulin I need for what I'm doing for breakfast. If I'm going to exercise, that changes that. Like, there are so many things that influence your numbers. Last night, I went out dancing. I had so much fun, but my blood sugar went low, and I felt horrible, and I needed to drink like 2 pineapple juices, and I ended up drinking simple syrup. I was fighting between myself, like, I really wanted to dance, but I know how important it is to sit and wait.
So it's really a full-time job, and everything you do throughout the day, you need to pay attention and plan for and be ready to deal with high or low blood sugars throughout your day.
That is 100% true. And even when I am not thinking, oh, I need to take this insulin, or, oh, my blood sugar is low, there's still so much going on in the back of my head and in the back of the head of people that have diabetes just to survive.
Talking with Danielle Blanchard. She's in her 30s now. She was diagnosed with autoimmune type 1 diabetes at 16 months old. She's one of the more than 39 million Americans who live with diabetes. 5% of those have type 1. 95% have type 2 diabetes, which can often be controlled with diet and exercise like we talked about. And today is World Diabetes Day, and the reason November 14th is World Diabetes Day, it's the birthday of the man who discovered insulin in 1922. And prior to that, if you had type 1 diabetes, it was a death sentence. And now insulin is a life-saving drug, which is why it's so important to keep it affordable. But that's a topic for a different day. Talk about going to camp for kids with diabetes. Joslin Camp for boys in Charlton. There's the Clara Barton Camp for girls with diabetes in Oxford. This was a huge part of your life as a camper and a staffer.
Camp is amazing. Like, I light up when I start talking about it. I remember what it was like to live with diabetes before camp, and it was lonely. The moment I stepped foot on camp, I looked around and everybody had diabetes. If you didn't have diabetes, then you were the odd one out. It just was so nice to be checking blood sugars with everybody and counting carbs with everybody. So much has changed in the past 30, 40 years. Now camp is just as important as it was when I was a kid. The thing about diabetes camp is it makes you feel the same as everyone else. I went on to be the camp director of that camp, and it was extremely rewarding. I got to give back to the kids what I had received for so long. Right now, they are offering free camp for anybody who it's their first time coming to camp, boys or girls.
I know you and other people in your 30s, 40s, and 50s who are camp alumni who are in chat groups and get together at reunions and friends for life.
Oh my God, like half my Facebook friends have diabetes. I keep in touch with people from camp, and I actually also run support groups throughout Massachusetts and some other states where adults with diabetes can get together.
Where can people find these support groups?
They can find it at Massachusetts Type 1 Diabetes Meetup on Facebook.
And you also do some peer coaching. How can people reach out to you if they want to learn more about that?
Diabetes Motivational Coaching. So it's mydmcoaching.com.
And on this World Diabetes Day, I thought this would be a nice opportunity to let people know the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes and the resources available, whether it's the Diabetes Center of Excellence at UMass, wonderful care and education, or the camps or the coaching that we just talked about. And I'm going to post this entire interview on the 98.9 NASH Icon Facebook page. Danielle, thanks for sharing all this.
Thank you so much, Adam.